You are comfortably zoned with the Zigzag Man in Alameda, California, pushing on the doors of life marked pull and fighting the unholy trinity as we go. Big business, organized religion, and government. You are comfortably zoned with the Zigzag Man, Alameda, California. It is a beautiful Indian summer day, and I'm blessed to have as my guest the mayoral candidate for Mayor of Alameda, the candidate coming up, elections. She's Trish Spencer. How are you, Trish?
Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you'll excuse the informality of it all. We are simply yakking with the folks. This it's the best kind of radio at all. It's podcast radio. We have no sponsors. We're on the internet, and we just talk about a whole bunch of things on this show. Basically, as the introduction said, I talk about what I consider to be the unholy trinity, and that is big business, organized religion, and government. So you're here to humanize government, because I've met a lot of folks. I'm 68 years old. A lot of people in politics. You're the most humane person, and I say that from personal experience. You sit on the school board in Alameda, and you showed your humanity by the way you responded to a friend of mine's issue when he came up to the school board. It isn't important what his issue is. It's the way he wasn't heard by the bulk of the school board. They listened to him. They listened to his story and his time allotted, and literally ignored him, did nothing to respond in any way. What did you do? And this is how I really got in touch with the idea. I've got to have this woman on to show that every politician, everybody that runs for office, shouldn't be grouped into one category. What you did, you came down from the podium and you went over and you talked to the man.
Yes, I gave him my card, and I let him know that if he wanted to follow up, I'm happy to meet with him. And I've been on the school board for 6 years. I was PTA council president before that. I volunteered a lot in our schools, and it's really a privilege and an honor to sit on the school board. And when we have people come to our school board meetings and they have concerns, it's really because, usually it's because something is not working out for them, and they need help working with the system, trying to get the relief that they need. And sometimes really what they want is just to be heard, to have someone listen to them, so that they can express their concerns. So that evening he came, he spoke at our meeting and shared his concerns, his story. And during the school board meeting, we're really not allowed to respond right then, but staff can always follow up. And not seeing that happen, I've done this before. What I do is I just walk down, I give the constituent my card and let them know that if they want to call me, I'm more than happy to meet with them, and that's what's happened here. We've actually met several times trying to address his concern.
And you've been doing this locally in Alameda, not just the school board. You're an educator by trade, you're a sociologist, and you're an attorney. Where did you go to law school?
So I worked my way through law school in Southern California at Western State. I actually graduated from Cal as a sociology major. Then my first job out of college was a receptionist in a law firm. And I went to UC Irvine at night, and I got my paralegal certificate. And after doing that, I became a paralegal, and then I went to law school at night, and I became an attorney.
Wow.
So it's
and you raised 4 daughters?
Yeah, and I, what's different about people like me is we have to work our way through school. We just have to keep doing it. We go at night because we have to work full time to pay the bills, and we just keep going through it and getting it done. And yes, I have 4 girls, and they're all older now.
Right.
Youngest are 20-year-old twins. One's at Harvard and one's at Cal Maritime.
Wow. So you're a proud mama.
I'm very, very lucky that I've been able to spend as much time as I have with my children, and then volunteering in our schools, helping with other people's children too.
Okay, now this is a grassroots campaign, so you're the long shot coming in. Working with city politics, working on the school board all these years, there must have been a time when it crossed your mind that the way things are, I can't stand it anymore. It's all I could see is like Popeye. It's all I could stand. I can't stand no more. When was there a period in time when you just said, something happened, I gotta be mayor. I'll do better. This is wrong. This can't be. It's not that it's so bad. We're talking a little bit of it, but it has so much potential, does Alameda, to be something really great. We're just blessed with a whole bunch of property donated by the Navy after they cleaned it up, allegedly, from their nuclear waste. Tell me about that. Are you happy with the cleanup process? Is there something still in doubt in your mind out there as to the property's feasibility to, say, grow a garden on, for instance?
So I'm a 7.5-year cancer survivor. I do have concerns about that property has to be cleaned up so that we are not. So that our people don't have any risks living there.
Has it not been cleaned up by the Navy?
I think that there's still work occurring, that they're still working on cleaning some of the site. But
okay.
But I wanted to,
talking about the future development.
There's still work occurring, they're cleaning up. But you had made some comments about why am I running for mayor? So right. I'd like to speak to that.
Oh,
if I
absolutely,
may.
please.
Okay. So I, and I can go a little farther back than that. Why did I run for school board? Right after I was finished treating for cancer, I was trying to figure out what's the next path going to be of my life. And I'd been PTA council president for 2 years, and the elections were coming up for school board. And as a parent and as PTA council president overseeing our PTAs here as a volunteer, there were numerous times where parents had serious concerns about our schools. Were they really serving our students as well as they could? So at that point, I decided I was going to run for school board, not to warm a seat, but to make a difference, to really do my best to help these people's needs be met. And I have never seen myself as the candidate that runs to warm a seat. I am not that. I am the candidate that's there to ask the tough questions and to resolve these problems that must be resolved to best serve our students and their families, so that we really end up with strong public education. Here, running for mayor, there have been numerous efforts of regular people collecting signatures to save our parks from development. We did it at the Miff Albright Golf Course. We collected, I think it was approximately 10,000 signatures, if not more, on that one. We did it that was 2012. We did it recently at the Crab Cove issue. I'm one of those people that hangs out in front of grocery stores. I never thought that would be me, collecting signatures to protect our parks. Well, we as a community have been called upon too many times to protect our parks from development recently, and our fear is that this will just continue, and at some point we may very well lose. And our city is still in litigation right now with East Bay Parks. which to me is unfathomable. To have our taxpayer dollars being spent on both sides fighting over, without this, the city is not fighting to protect our park. East Bay Parks is. So when the clock was ticking down and no other person was stepping up to run for mayor, I stepped up.
It was the park issue that made
and the development. The development everywhere, including on our parks, if we don't stop it. We already have serious traffic problems. We are an island. I am proud of living on an island. But with an island comes 4 bridges and 1 tube, and that's it. And many of us know every day right now there's more and more traffic than what we used to have. And we are very concerned about our island being overdeveloped, and the stress on our infrastructure it can take I don't know how long just to get to the grocery store, right. And to get off the island. Our safety from that being overbuilt, the safety that trying to protect our own safety, especially in the event of a disaster, overcrowded schools. There's all kinds of impact on our quality of life that are threatened by this massive overdevelopment.
Now, can all this be changed by reappropriation of funds? For instance, perhaps you put some money into a shuttle system that gets people in and out of the island. Take some money from the police force and put it into education. Will you be able to make a difference on that level?
So in regards to, can this be changed by having a shuttle to that point first?
For instance.
I don't know.
Trying to alleviate the traffic problem. I'm not a city manager, but I walk a lot, and I see that between 7 and 8 o'clock, and that you can't get in and out of in or out. There's 5 ways out, 4 bridges and a tube, and they're all clogged up, back to back traffic for an hour. So would a shuttle system help, for instance?
That might help moving around town. I don't know how that would be paid for, but it might very well help for trips within our island from one part of the island to the other. However, many of us know our bus system has been cut. We used to have a better bus system,
right?
And unfortunately, with the finances, that's been cut. So I don't know how, where the monies would come from a shuttle. However, that could very well possibly help alleviate some of the traffic. But when you just keep bringing more housing development with that, you're always going to get more cars, and then you get more traffic, and that's really what many of us are very concerned about. Now, in regards to reallocation of funds, the city right now is running a deficit. It's covering it with reserves. However, those reserves will be exhausted by June 2018 according to the forecast from the city. So the city has a serious fiscal problem. It's already running deficits. So there must be a reallocation of funds anyway to protect our services, which is why we're starting to see more services being cut and threatened. So my belief is that we have to be willing to have a open conversation, the city has to, with our constituents, putting everything on the table, clearly showing what monies come in, where those monies are spent, and have and allow the city, the residents, to have an input in prioritizing how we're going to spend our limited funds.
Okay. And I'm the idea man, if nothing else, the wild idea man. Maybe not this city, maybe not this state, maybe not this country. But in Italy, for instance, they're taxing the Catholic Church and their business. And I'm wondering if there would ever be a possibility of the tax exemption enjoyed by organized religion coming to an end. Is that something that could solve a lot of social problems in this country?
So that's a much bigger issue than here in the city of Alameda, and it's definitely outside of anything that I would be involved with.
Okay.
I do want to speak to this issue that we started with.
Okay.
There are many things.
You're a great politician, by the way. You're proving that.
There are many things that a mayor can do.
Okay.
And I want to speak to this. One thing that I bring to the table I think is really missing is this reaching out to our constituents, being involved in our community, actively engaging our citizens, and really being there to help them, creating the dialogue with our citizens and trying to help them. We have many people in our town that need help going through their daily lives, and they don't know who to talk to, they don't know where to get the services that are available to them. And it's important that we step up and meet them as individuals to meet their needs. And I think that that's actually one of the things I'm really good at and have a proven record of doing that. And at the end of the day, I would say that's the number one reason why I'm running for mayor.
Okay. Let's get into your opponent, a very, very nice woman. And I just want to ask you this. In law school, they train you to research the devil's advocate, so to speak. It's not a debate, but research it. If you had to pick a topic that you could not speak for from her standpoint, what would that be? Well, a belief system that she has that you're so, as mayor, a way of doing things that you just couldn't imagine trying to justify. And because I'm trying to see, is there a major difference in the two candidates? I think there are, but what would that be from your standpoint? What is the major difference from your standpoint between you and Mayor Gilmore's way of going around the track?
Okay, so I don't know if it's a major difference, but there are multiple differences that have come up during the campaign. For instance, one topic that the other side raises is that traffic is a regional issue and that our traffic here on the island is the result of that as opposed to more housing. And I disagree with that. I think that when the more housing that they keep adding does result in more cars, which does affect our traffic right here on the island. And in fact, we have traffic from one side of the island to the other, not just when you're trying to leave the island.
Oh, yeah. If you went up Encinal, for instance, you could wait 15 minutes before it merges into Central. Yes, and coming up Doolittle, and any way you want to do it, there's traffic. And I taught traffic school for 3 or 4 years. This road rage, I see it. Just walking as a pedestrian, you see it. Pedestrians walking down the street are mad at traffic. Traffic's mad at the pedestrians. God forbid you should be in the crosswalk because I've waited for 15 minutes and the lights won't change. And so how could... You couldn't take that stance. You couldn't even debate that stance that it's a regional thing, not something specific to the incredible growth that Alameda has been experiencing, and no way to get in or off the island. Another topic.
Okay, another topic is when you go to city council meetings, unfortunately there's a tone from the dais that many of us believe discourages public input. And
much like with the school board and my friend George. So it takes a human being to sit up there and recognize that. Am I correct?
And it's really sad in that when you have a person take their time out of their day to come to a city council meeting, they truly have a concern. That's why they're doing it. And it's very important that people sitting up on the dais listen to them and take their concern and genuinely care about their concerns.
Right, and it reflects in the people that fund them. So as a grassroots, you're not funded by big business.
My largest donation is $500, and it's from an individual. All of my donations are from individuals here in town. They're all from Alamedans, no money from outside of Alameda, all from individuals in Alameda. And I receive checks $25, $50, and I've received, I think, 2 for $500, but that's the largest.
Right. Now,
majority are small funds from regular people.
Right. Not the business owners, not the landlords, not the folks that have the growth in mind that we just can't handle. It's a small town. How many square miles? What do you got, 12 miles in this town? Is it?
I'm going to defer to you on that.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's a small town. We have 20,000 people in this town, and
I've done the drive back and forth across this island, but I don't know the distance.
Right. Now, when I came here for the right reasons. Where people come to Alameda.